Hello, my name is Brandon Boulet. I am the real estate agent with Carriage House Real Estate, selling 65 Chestnut Street in Lee, Massachusetts. I'm going to take you on a video tour of this property. We are at the frontage on Chestnut Street right now. I will switch views throughout the video to be able to give you a good sense of this land. And if you are interested, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to schedule time to walk you through personally across this property here. So let's take a look at the frontage here on 65 Chestnut. We have a pink marker on that tree, which leads to a pin directly behind it. Their property here on the end borders a neighbor here. I'm gonna pan down. We have our town maintained road here, and your frontage goes down along there. Might be a little hard to see in the video, but there is a pink ribbon on a piece of bar down there. You can see the driveway of the other abutting neighbor, but all this land here between that driveway and this tree is your frontage here on the street. I'd like to take a moment just to point out the survey map for this property here. What I just showed you on Chestnut Street is this stretch of land right along here. I'm going to be taking you up this direction, connecting on to I'm going to say like a logging pathway here that would be your driveway. We're going to go up, reach the flat area, which would be definitely buildable for your potential home or barn or what have you. And then we're going to look up here into really the hikeable territory, which is some beautiful hiking trails up there. So this lot is not included. That has a house on it of the neighbor. This lot also not included with the neighbor there. We are working with lot 4, 3, and 2 here. Okay, so let's enter the property here. I'm gonna walk up this small hill. We do have the pin marker there for the corner of the property. We're gonna lead up to that. I'm gonna call it a logging road, which would be your, I would say, long driveway to lead to that nice buildable flat area here. So nice, already roughed in pathway here. Our frontage along Chestnut Street is going down along there, so you could enter at other points. Looks like some logging has been done at one point. And with the price of wood these days, if you are so able to harvest this the woods in this area, you could potentially have a lot of good wood to sell or use yourself. So this pathway is going to lead up to the area to build on, and I'm going to stop here and pick it back up as we get a little closer. Okay, so we are coming up towards the end of this pathway here. Got some nice boulders lining the road. And this is going to lead to that nice flat area that is relatively cleared here for a lot of building opportunity. So from the edge here, panning across, you have some overgrowth there, a couple thin trees to clear, but we have a lot of nice flat territory here to build what have you on it. So that view that you just saw was looking out across this area here. I'm going to take you on a pathway to this corner pin. We'll be able to see this neighbor's house a little bit. But we're going to walk over to this corner pin, and I'm going to take you around this area here. Okay, folks, so let's take a walk towards that corner pin. We're gonna have a pathway along here. Now the landowner originally just used this property for equestrian purposes. Horse rider, had a lot of friends in the area that rode horses, and together they would let their horses graze. They would ride them up into the trails. Well, just a nice getaway here in 15 acres, quite a bit of land that you could use for those like good hiking purposes. Looking here, you know, clear this brush out and you have a nice flat area to build with. Let's head towards that corner pin. And so we are looking, if you zoom in here, where that pink ribbon is the corner. I'll show you that in the map. That little machine there distributes corn. It actually belongs to the abutting neighbor. He said he apologizes. He will move it over back onto his property there. But right now it is technically on our property. But it feeds just natural wildlife, wild turkeys, wild deer. He doesn't hunt them. He says it's just nice to kind of help them survive in those winter months there. But that would be the corner. I'm going to show you on the map here as well. And then this land that we're looking at, I'm going to point out where it's conservation land and where it is, sorry, your 15 acres here. Okay, so that pink ribbon I just showed you is this corner right here. This land, conservation land. All this land around it, also conservation land. So you do not have to worry about additional neighbors building anywhere around your property. And we were, pink ribbon, we're looking in this area, a lot of beautiful wooded land right here. So let's continue walking, going around the property that is buildable and cleared mostly. So if we look to the right here, I know it's a bit hard with the brush, but that is your flat area there, with really, I mean, some thin trees, but not a whole lot to clear. And then your land is going in this direction. Now it does get wooded. This does look relatively flat to me, so potentially you could expand out into this area here. Looking through again to the right, we are kind of circling what I think is the buildable property there. But yeah, the brush is a little thick, so hard to see through there. So still circling the buildable land. You know, clear this brush out and you have quite the flat area. We're gonna loop around to a spot where it's a bit more cleared. Just some beautiful woods out here. And the beauty of being in Lee is this is the gateway to the Berkshires. You are close to a lot of cultural destinations. A supermarket, Big Y, is literally right down the road. And you could jump on the Pike and be in Boston or more towards New York, you know, within a couple hours, relatively short time. We are close to the border of New York, upstate New York. But then, of course, you could shoot right down to the city there. So opening back up, this is your nice flat area here. I'm going to walk you over towards a pin that shows edge of the property line, and I'll show you on the map as well. So here's our pink ribbon for the edge of the property. We started from down that direction, and this is your nice flat area here. She did say, the owner, that at one point this was just mowable land right here. I think it has since filled in a bit with some brush and what have you. And I'll keep walking forward so you can see the loop here of where I first stopped, where that fallen tree was, and pointing out the map there. So this is where we began. You have that corner neighbor, and I'll turn around. This is the original spot we entered the land here. Okay, so this marker we just walked past, I'm going to show you on the map, would be this corner marker right here. Think of that original pathway we came up. We then walked around this area, and this would be the corner. So this lot 1, not included, but of course lots 2 and 3 here, a lot of land. I'm gonna pan back up. So think that's this corner right here is your pin. So we're looking at the abutting neighbor's property here, and then the included 65 Chestnut property all along here. I like this entry point for the hiking trails. I'm gonna take you up and show you some of the natural beauty that's up there. Okay folks, so this was the entry point I just came in. We're going to start heading up, get some elevation. You're gonna occasionally see white ribbons, which is where I marked the trail, and occasionally pink ribbons, which is where the owner marked the trail for horse riding. I mean, look at the size of this boulder here. Excellent. And I'm going to take you up in some of that territory up there. I imagine, you know, if we cleaned up some of this, you could perhaps do mountain biking, definitely ATV, of course horse riding, or just good old hiking without having to bump into a lot of people from the Appalachian Trail. This is you will see no other people coming through this land other than you and your family and friends. Here, I'll pause here and do a little zoom in. You can see some of the natural boulders here. And we haven't been walking that long. You can hear me, I'm a little out of breath. But we have already had some elevation as we work our way up here. Thankfully, nothing too steep on this spot. So just showing off this natural spring here. Leading up, and this is where I follow our hiking trail here. And as we work our way, this is where it starts, you can, gets a little steep going down that way. And then just some more gradual uphill going through there. But I'm gonna head us up along to where that tree branch is down. All right, so just do another shot of the trail here that we're following. Just some beautiful natural woods. And I'm thinking, come fall, when some of these leaves are off the trees here. Yeah, a little hard to see, but there is a tip of mountain in the distance there, where I'm thinking you might get some good views. You know, come when these leaves start changing colors and start coming off the trees here. There's a path we just followed. And the path we're gonna continue on. I find that this hike takes about 25 minutes. though I did hike it with my 9-year-old at a little under half an hour. But yeah, and there are probably many more trails up here, but this is just the one that I have you know, nicely marked out to follow. But as you explore the property, I'm sure you can really find some great spots to continue your hikes on. So I really like this spot. We're about to take a bend here, but if we look to the right, we are about the crest or the top of the elevation point. There's some really nice boulders making a ridge line. The property would go just a little bit past those boulders up there. I'm gonna take you down around this bend. Now, you do hear the Mass Pike a little bit in the background. I used to live over on Silver Street by Goose Pond, or on its way to Goose Pond. I tell you, you just kind of drowned it out. You kind of get used to it. It really doesn't, you know, distract at all. But I tell you, we are definitely in a place of solitude up here by yourself. I mean, this is just beautiful mountainous territory. Here, I'm going to pan back around to show you this bend. Look at this giant boulder we just walked around. And there's the ridge line going up there. All right, let's continue on. Okay, so the path is starting to head back down. Look at this vast woods here that abuts conservation land. We are definitely deep in nature. And so the incline is going up that way where we were before. And now we are heading back downwards. So again, I just like that this property has this mix. That you have a large flat area that is buildable. This area is zoned for agriculture. You could potentially have livestock. You could have plants or, you know, crops. But then you also have this beautiful territory of just hiking trails. I think it's a really nice mix. And just taking a pause to just show you some of the kind of beautiful elevation with natural rock formations leading up to that great hiking territory there. All right, folks, so that was your tour of 65 Chestnut Street here in Lee. I hope you enjoyed the views of the grounds here. Just imagine what you can do with this beautiful flat area and all those lovely hiking trails up in the woods. Feel free to reach out to me, and at your convenience, we'll schedule an appointment for me to take you on a walk-in hike of this property. Thank you again for viewing this, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future. Good day.